In this video, I will attempt and fail miserably to do 31 days of yoga.
Today is January the 1st and I'm going to attempt to do 31 days of yoga via an online yoga course where you do 20 minutes every day.
Yes, I know what you're all thinking. Where did he get that amazing Border Collie t-shirt from?
Now, it's fair to say I'm not a yoga beginner, but I am a lapsed yogi because I haven't done it.
For probably a good 2-3 years.
2019, I think, pre-COVID.
Oh my God.
I think probably pre-COVID. And it's slightly unfair. I am working with an expert today, as my wife is a yoga teacher.
I should say from the outset that my failure to complete this course was nothing to do with the course. The course was excellent. It was to do with my attitude. I just couldn't do yoga at home.
Success, day one done. As you said, on day one.
We did day one on day one, which is what counts.
Which, yeah, so we can do day 2 and day 2, day 3 and day 3.
Well,
Before we know it, we'll get to day 31.
Yeah.
And all I can say is everything hurt. I don't think, even the basic stuff hurt. So just the kneeling down hurt.
Do you think half of that is to do with the fact you did it in jeans?
No.
And slippers?
No, I don't think so. I think it was more to do with just muscles just not being used for a long time.
Yes, it was very good. Very nice.
So we should see the benefit tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've learnt Shanti Om.
Shanti Om means peace be with you and is commonly said at the end of yoga classes. Now, I should have realised on day one that the environment makes a big difference to how you do yoga. When you go to a class at a yoga studio, it is set up perfectly for you to be able to enjoy the class, relax, and really get into the yoga spirit. When you're doing it at home, and in this case, it was a holiday home that I was in, the room is full of baby stuff because I've got a young son. And quite strangely, it had a picture of Winston Churchill that was staring at me. Day 2 was a perfect day for yoga on the beach. The sun was shining and the views were stunning. But I only had time to do it in the house.
Hello Sangha, welcome to day 2. I'm on the beach. We're going to do some standing practice today.
I tried to get my yoga session in whilst my son slept in the background.
So try and get through your spine today.
That's yoga done for today. Day 3 of 31 days of doing yoga. And as I mentioned previously, I'm not a yoga novice. I have done it before. In fact, first time I did it was probably back in 2005, I think. I signed up for an 8-week course in a place in Edinburgh. And I turned up for the first lesson and the woman gave me an A4 bit of paper which listed all the yoga moves I needed to know. She then started doing the class, and after each move she came over and told me that I was doing it wrong, I needed to do it better. And that did not encourage me to go back to week 2 of the yoga class. In fact, I didn't do yoga again probably for about 15 years because I was so put off by being told how useless I was at it. I started up again because my wife wanted to go to a yoga class, a local yoga class, and I thought that I would attend. And for a few years I used to go quite regularly. I'd normally go to a class on a Saturday morning that's run by a friend of mine. He did a really good power yoga session, and I also tried a mix of Ashtanga, which I'll explain what that is a bit later in the video. Ashtanga is my favourite type of yoga because it's a set series of poses. It takes about 90 minutes to complete. It's really good because the more you practice it, the better you get. And some yin yoga, which I didn't really get on with, but I'll also explain what that is later in the video. My experience of yin yoga is that you hold poses for much longer than you do in any other type of yoga. What this means is that it can feel pretty sore for someone like myself who's pretty inflexible. My last bit of yoga experience, probably the last time I really did much yoga, was I went to a yoga camp in India when I was on my honeymoon, and I did 4 days of in-depth yoga, which was really good fun. I really enjoyed it. But then when I came back from holiday, didn't really go again. Don't know why. That's all things always seem to take higher priority. It's interesting what I say there, that other things always take higher priority. What are those other things? It's probably watching television, probably scrolling on my phone, all things that aren't any benefit to me whatsoever. So why does yoga always take second place? I think it's because it takes effort to be mindful and to take time for myself. It takes no effort to switch on a TV or phone. When faced with a messy room, it's easy to think, maybe I won't do yoga today. What I was learning was that I have an ideal version of what yoga is. And because doing it in my house didn't match that ideal, then I was struggling to do the sessions.
Hello Sangha, welcome to day 4 of our 31 days of practice.
Every day seemed to throw a different challenge into completing the session. If it wasn't crying babies, then it was dogs who demanded attention. Bonnie, go.
You probably, if you're right-handed, use your right hand first.
At this point, I realised things would have to change if there was any chance at all that I was going to complete 31 days of yoga. Today I've decided to create a yoga space, so I've cleared out my conservatory. It was full of just junk and rubbish here, and a bit of space over there, so I can use the bike and rowing machine. The only problem is, I own a yoga mat, but I can't for the life of me figure out where it is. I've looked everywhere in the house and no idea. I'll go and look in the loft. No luck, I didn't manage to find it. I'll go and steal my wife's instead. Moving to the conservatory was a great idea because it meant that I had a set place to do yoga and I could actually control the environment without having kids' toys and dogs bothering me. What I couldn't control though was the weather. Today I'm going to do it in shorts. I'm keeping the socks on though because it's absolutely Baltic in the conservatory. And this is a top yoga tip for people with glasses. I've learned if you put this hat on, it pushes my glasses inside my head, and then when I go down like this, my glasses don't fall off.
Your glutes massage with your knees. Roll onto your 10 toes, okay, that you were touching together a few moments ago, and see if you can bring your knees back down to the floor.
I missed doing yoga yesterday as I had a long run to do in the morning and then a birthday party to go to in the afternoon. And by the time I got back, I felt like I was so full of birthday cake that I didn't want to go and do any bending or stretching. So today, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to do 2 days of yoga. This was now the beginning of the end of my yoga experience because missing one day gave me an excuse to miss other days.
I decided the yoga space needed a little bit of heat because it's -4 outside and it feels like that in here as well.
This is my second last session.
Hello Sangha, welcome to day 7.
I don't seem very enthused. It was cold, I was hungry, and I really felt I was only doing it so I could film it and put it on YouTube. And that's not a valid reason to do anything.
Welcome to day 8. This is the third time I've tried to record this session.
And this is the end. I'm wearing a shacket, that's a shirt and a jacket, and I'm trying to do it in the cold and dark. Why did I even bother? I'm really glad that I tried to do 31 days of yoga because I learned a few things about myself. I learned if you're going to do something, commit to doing it. I went in with a sort of half-hearted attitude. In fact, I probably went in with a half-hearted attitude and the wrong reasons for doing it. I didn't do it to get better at yoga. I did it to film a YouTube video that I thought would be quite entertaining. And that, as I said earlier, is the wrong reason to do something. I should have just done this and not filmed any of it at all, and I would probably have got to the end of the 31 days. But I also learned that I really do enjoy doing yoga. I just don't enjoy doing it in the house. In fact, after filming this video, I went back to a yoga studio and did a yoga class there. And it was amazing. I loved it. I think in future, that's what I will continue to do and never do it in my house ever again. And lastly, I learned that you don't have to pay for yoga. There is so much of it available for free on the internet. In fact, I thoroughly recommend the course that I used, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. If you'd like to try it, go and see if you can make it to the end of 31 days.